Quick and Healthy with Mr. G. Well, today I'm going to deviate a little bit from what I normally do when I cook. I normally, being a pescetarian, a person that eats only seafood and fruits and vegetables, as well as grains and nuts, things like that, I normally do not eat any kind of meat other than seafood. And not wavering from what I'm eating, but I also need to cook for other people sometimes. And not everybody is a pescetarian or vegetarian. A lot of people do eat meat. So when I cook for people that eat meat, I like to use at least something that's a little more healthy. We're going to be using some white chicken breasts in today's recipe. These are flash frozen, rather large, all white chicken breasts that have been, they're boneless, skinless chicken breasts. The skinless is the key here. Skinless chicken breasts will have much less fat, fewer calories, and just all around they're a healthier choice. So these are boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Now, what I'm going to make today is chicken tortilla soup. And man, it's awesome. Everybody who eats chicken tortilla soup, or if you've ever eaten it before, if it's made properly, you'll love it. It's fantastic. So today, let's get started on the chicken tortilla soup. What are we going to need? We're going to need some scallions, which are just your long green onions. We're going to need one jalapeno pepper. We're going to need a red pepper, a yellow pepper. You can use green peppers as well. We've got a can of enchilada sauce. We have a can of low sodium diced tomatoes. And I've got a jar here of fire roasted peppers. I'm not going to use this entire jar because it's a rather large jar. If that was just a normal sized jar of the fire roasted peppers, which is about half this size, I would use the whole thing. Got a real large pot here to cook it in. And we've got some roasted red pepper and tomato, organic, all natural, 50% less sodium soup. This is made by Pacific Natural Foods. And I found this at a local grocery store, and I really have come to love these because they're low in sodium, low in calories, very low in fat. So they're really excellent. And I've also got here in this box, now these are 32 ounces, so there's 64 ounces total of creamy tomato all-natural soup, all organic as well. Again, Pacific Natural Foods is the brand that I'm using here, and there's probably other brands out there. Now, if you don't have a grocery store that carries this, you can also use a low-sodium condensed tomato soup. Just make enough of it mixed up with the milk that you would normally use. Use skim milk to keep your recipe low in calories and fat. And you'd mix up enough to have 64 fluid ounces of whatever tomato soup you plan to use. I've also got some spices here. I've got some ground cumin, and I've got some smoked hot paprika. So, let's start to process all the vegetables and all the foods that you see in front of me here. Ah, yes. What would chicken tortilla soup be without some tortilla chips? So you're also going to need your favorite tortilla chips. These are baked tortilla chips, lower in fat, lower in calories, better all around for your health. Okay, we're going to start with the chicken. In our large pot, this is a large stock pot, I use it for soups, I placed just enough water to cover both of the chicken breasts. And I'm going to put that on high heat and let them boil for about 20 minutes. Okay, next I'm going to thoroughly rinse my vegetables and place them onto my cutting board. Okay, I'm going to take my scallions and I'm going to cut the ends off of them where the root system is. Got them lined up here so I can kind of cut them all at the same time, and we're going to cut those ends off. We're going to come up to the other end and we're going to cut them back so we don't have a whole lot of the greens at the top. And now what we're going to do here is we're going to take our scallions and we're going to slice them into small rounds, something like you see me doing here. And you'll take those all the way up until you get to the greens up here. Next, we're going to take our jalapeno and we're going to slice the end off of it, and then we're going to slice just a tiny drop off the other end there. Now we're going to take that and we're going to slice it lengthwise 2 times to quarter it, like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to cut that into real small pieces like you see me doing here. Next, we're going to dice the red and yellow peppers. I cut those into strips, and then, much like we did the other vegetables, we just cut those into small chunks, like you see me doing here. Okay, here we have our prepared onions and peppers, onions and hot peppers, and our sweet peppers. We're going to take the chicken out of our water, which has now become chicken broth. It's been boiling for about 15 to 20 minutes for these 2 large chicken breasts. You can see that they've reduced somewhat in size. I'm going to put them over here on a nice plate, a dinner plate, and we're going to allow those to cool. Now, our now boiling water, which is chicken broth, we're going to take and we're going to add to that, first of all, our diced tomatoes. Let's pour that all in there like that. Next, we're going to add our enchilada sauce. Pour that in. Next, we're going to take our roasted peppers. And what I'm going to do here is, normally you can cut these up. We're going to dump in our sweet peppers, and we're going to dump in our hot peppers and our onions, as we can see here. Next, we're going to take our organic creamy tomato soup, and I'm going to use that entire 32 ounces. Next, we're going to put in the roasted red pepper. I did shake these, but that one seemed like it settled a little bit more, so I'll shake that again. The roasted red pepper tomato soup is next. And we're going to add cumin. I'm going to add about, if I had to guess, I would say that's probably about 1 teaspoon to half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of cumin, and then much less of the hot paprika. It's very strong, and I'm just going to use, I don't know, probably about maybe 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of that. What about the chicken? Well, I'm going to take and I'm going to pull that chicken apart into small pieces, and I'll add that to our soup as well. You can take a look at that soup here. Looks beautiful. We're going to allow that to start boiling again. And I will add some more of those fire roasted red peppers. Okay, we've got our chicken, which has been all separated and just looks great. And we're going to go ahead and pour that down into our soup as well. And then, of course, we're going to stir. Mixing that thoroughly. And then, after this cooks for a while, I'll show you the finished product. Cindy will be home from work about the time this is done, and since she does eat chicken, she will enjoy some delicious chicken tortilla soup. Well, here we've got our finished chicken tortilla soup, and man, it looks fantastic. Look at that. Nice big chunks of chicken in there. Oh, just looks great. It smells just wonderful. I'll tell you what, if I wasn't a pescetarian, I would have a huge bowl of this. Okay, just to let you know, I boiled this soup for approximately 2 to 3 hours on very low heat on simmer to allow all the flavors to combine together, and everything kind of just combines to make a fantastic soup. Here I'm serving it with a dollop of sour cream in the middle, some melted cheddar cheese around the edge, and some low-fat tortilla chips. It just looks fantastic. I hope you had a great time on Quick and Healthy with Mr. G, and I'll see you next time.